So we came to the US with 2 suitcases because of the way we left. And we were each allowed to bring one stuffed animal and one change of clothes, pretty much. And we started slowly adapting. I remember my first word in English was hello. I remember running into the house and saying, Mom, the neighbor said hello to us. And then she said, that just means, hola. And I said, oh, really? I learned my first English word. But the transition was very difficult, to acculturate into a school system that was very different, that had kids from very diverse backgrounds. I wasn't used to diversity because in El Salvador, everyone kind of looked like me. And the language was different, and just really learning about different cultures was an eye-opening experience for me. Learning that I was supposed to be a low-performing student, for example, was strange to me because we were such high performers. And so going to schools where people expected less of us was a very real reality. And it's something I see over and over in the work I do now, where the opportunities tend to go to highly gifted students, but that doesn't represent the populations that we're talking about or that I like to work with because they haven't been tested into those opportunities. And so really acculturating was difficult. It was challenging. And we constantly received this message that you had to learn English to be successful. It was never admired for us to be bilingual, for example. It was always learn English. And now, as an adult, I know what a disadvantage that was and how I had to relearn Spanish, for example. And I wish that it would have been different, but it wasn't the case. It was during a time where that was a common message, even among educators. And it's unfortunate because I think that there is strength in diversity, there is strength in language. And that's something that I didn't get going through a school system. Before I got into the Magnet program, for example, I was placed in the regular school program, and I remember taking a class where I was learning how to sew, and it was just learning how to stitch, versus taking a coding class in the Magnet program. So there was a stark reality as to what the expectations were for kids who were in the regular school versus the Magnet school, and that was really something I had to learn really fast to make sure that I put myself in those situations where it was more accessible to me. Definitely.